Previously on the Freedom Savage podcast.
What I did want you to get into was the real tea and juice of the matter, because y'all had a protest in y'all's school.
My school decided to invite someone from Turning Point USA. I agree, like everybody should have their platform, no matter if they're conservative or liberal. I agree on that. The difference is one is hate speech and one is regular speech. And the speech they were giving was hate speech. And then there was like a counter protest, like we don't want transphobes on our school. So the protest was met with campus police. And from what I know, 2 students got arrested and one of those 2 students ended up getting hurt.
To me, that's like bringing Hitler to a Jewish school. Like, what are you doing?
According to like the census, like white people are like gonna be a minority soon. They can't handle it. But you shouldn't be scared because we treat minorities so well in this country, don't we?
Yeah. I want to talk to you guys about Jordan Neal.
You're a Marine being scared of one man coming towards you. Okay.
He would have hated the A train, the C train,
right,
the D train, to like, leave the car if you feel unsafe. How do y'all feel about the AIs?
AI art and AI photographs, that is where I find the problem. Women on the internet, TikTokers specifically, saying that they've gotten DMs of like random incels having AI generated nude pictures of them.
You know, it's the future. It's what we're going to have to deal with. So we need to learn to understand it so that we can at least have some power over it.
Sooner or later, there's going to be so much stuff that's going to be a part of this new age. And I think AI is the beginning of that.
If you haven't seen or finished episode 11 already, it'll be in the description below. And with that being said, sit back, relax, grab a snack, and enjoy episode 12, The Battle of the Species, part 2.
I wanna hear your thoughts, I wanna hear your sound. And mama always told me to shout and speak my mind out loud. Come on and talk when you got the time. Freedom, want you on the line. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Let your voice shine. Platform yours is not just mine. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Douglas, or you could call me Freedom. Welcome back to my channel. This is episode 12 of my podcast. Before we get started, obviously, make sure that you guys like this video, comment below this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel because you need me. As I say it best, forgive my background. The cars, my brother, y'all know the deal. So as I said on the last episode, we are going to get back into some great topics that we were having. The topics at hand still deals with the same general concept. I'm excited for our guests. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right. Hey, y'all. So we are in freedom of speech. These are familiar faces. Y'all remember them from episode 4. Well, introduce yourselves to the people that have not seen y'all before.
Okay. Well, as I already said, I'm Deborah. For me, Debs, you know, it's whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me Deborah. But yeah, I'm very excited for the podcast today. And I'm excited for y'all to hear what we got to say.
Oh my gosh. And I'm Kina. And I was here one time. And, you know, I'm just excited to be here. And I'm doing my makeup while I'm doing this because, yeah.
As y'all already know, I'm glad to have you guys here. Again, y'all can't hear my AC, right? It's just my voice straight.
Yes.
It's just my voice.
Okay, be cool.
I'm fucking scared. Well, this is part 2 from episode 11. In episode 11, Nakaya and Simone and I basically got to the nitty gritty of human depravity. So we discussed racism, the AI controversy, all of these AIs and shit, and all of these Michael Jackson Fetty Wap covers.
It made me feel old. I can't.
But we discussed so much on the last episode, and as I told my viewers before, we are going to continue that topic of human depravity, just changing gears. So what I wanted to bring to light for this particular podcast episode was toxic masculinity. It's a very touchy subject for me because I I'm a long ass story. I felt like it was something great to talk about, especially because it ties into the topic, because a lot of men these days don't realize or just don't care about how much their toxic masculinity plays in the decisions they make in their life and what harm that can have on others, you know? So I wanted to first start off so we all have questions for one another, but I wanted to first start off with Deborah. I have a question for Deborah, a question for Keena. She got a question for me, Keena, so forth, so on. But Deborah, I wanted to start off with you. I don't know if this is TMI, but I did try to attempt talking to Deborah about this topic before, but I wasn't in the best headspace. But you did say something when we were trying to attempt this conversation before. And I remember you telling me that you felt like toxic masculinity was not really a thing that was spreaded upon by everyone in society. You felt like men was really the main subset of people that really spreads toxic masculinity. Like men do it to one another, not really a situation where people are enforcing it. And I kind of wanted you to elaborate on that and explain why you feel that way that you do.
Well, yeah, honestly, I feel like it is a case by case scenario. Obviously, you can't put everybody under one umbrella, but I do feel that it is way more common that a lot of insecurities that men have that causes them to act a certain way comes from other men. I feel like a lot of the ideas that, oh, you can't do that because you're a boy, or that, boys don't wear that, boys don't talk like that, I feel like a lot of times the people enforcing those ideas are other men, or the ideas that they get from other men. And I just feel like when it comes to toxic masculinity itself, it is something that continues to be a thing because other men continue to enforce it.
Period.com. Deborah, can we just talk about this? Because here's the tea. And this is something I think we told y'all on episode 1. She don't talk like this on the regular.
No, I don't. I'm gonna go and touch on y'all, okay?
She don't talk like this on the regular at all. So but she could. And when she really gets into the nitty gritty and she reads situations, it's like she puts a period on a big ass dot. Like it really gives what
you know what I'm saying?
Also add to that before I ask Keena my question that I also have for her. I wanted to add upon what you said because, like I said, toxic masculinity is something that I've definitely seen. I remember being little, I saw this guy getting dragged on Facebook because he cut all his son like had a whole head of hair and he cut it all off because he felt like his son looked like a girl. And, he got dragged on Facebook for it, pure toxic masculinity, right? And I saw, and I think I was telling you this, like one of my first bullies, we're not going to say his name. When we were younger, we were playing in a park. I was playing on my own. He was playing on his own. I wasn't playing with him. Let's keep that clear. But his miserable ass was playing.
Let's make that clear.
Like, please, his miserable ass was playing on his own. But I guess he fell or some stupid shit. He started crying because at this time he's like 5. And everybody started rushing to him, but it was like the men. It was like his uncle and like my brother and like a couple of other men. This was years ago, by the way, but I still remembered it. It's like still in my mind. They came up to him and they was just like, you're a boy. You're not supposed to be crying. Stop crying. You're a boy. And I was just like, I knew that was a girl. It would have been a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? And something else, shout out to Claudia. Claudia is, your typical textbook alpha female. She's really blunt. She's really strong. She's really at you. She has a great skill of making a lot of great relationships with men on a non-sexual platonic level. She has a great habit of making great relationships with men compared to me, where I don't have that, skill. I don't have a lot of male friends with the exception of Jack and Seven. Shout out to them. And I love them. But, I don't have the habit of making a lot of male friends. And I think it's always because I never felt like I could identify or really feel comfortable when it came to men. So, this is not to say that I'm against it. This is not to say I'm against making male friends. It's just that I always found that men never really understood me. And I always found that women were actually the ones to take more time to get to know me, get to know my person, get to understand me, stuff like that. A lot of the men I came across, that was never really the case. And not even with my, my male relatives, my brother, forget about it. My other brother, forget about it. And then like my dad, it's not as if they weren't in my life. It's just that like they didn't really have that much of an influence on me to want to, quote unquote, act like a guy. Like I was always told guys are supposed to move their hands like this when they talk. I be seeing them on Love and Hip Hop. Yo, cause shorty wildin'. You doing this. You know the vibes. Like I'm just trying to hit up the studio. She coming. She like, yo, what's the I'm like, okay, look, listen, like that's cool, but I don't move my hands that way. And I remember like a lot of kids would mistake me as gay because I move my hands like, so and so. I move my hands whatever the fuck I want to, like, and then I'm very, out there when I tell the story. So I move my hands, I'm expressive, stuff like that. But I just found as a little boy that some stuff that men do is just healing. Like, why the hell do I want to sag? Like, why the hell do I want to move my hands a certain way? Why do I got to talk tough? Why I got to walk this way? Like, I was just one of those boys where it never made sense to me. Like, I just want to be a human being. I just want to be myself. Getting older, I realized that all of that in a weird way, shape, or form really ties into toxic masculinity. Question for you, Kina. You haven't had the best relationships, and I wanted to know if some of your trash ass exes suffer from toxic masculinity, or did you see it in them? And do you feel like their toxic masculinity played a role in the decline of your relationships?
Yeah, 100,000%. Because, this man is a full-on narcissist. The guys who I had issues with their toxic masculinity, I found to be narcissists or have narcissistic tendencies. And it was just like overwhelming to the point where sometimes he would say shit and it would just be like, I would just be blown away. I would be speechless because of how like warped his sense of like being a man was, or how just crazy his ideas of like how a woman should be were. Like he would force me to wear like a shirt under anything like I would wear, because he said that, he didn't want me to like it would show that I'm not a hoe or whatever to like people. Even in the summer, like when it was hot, like he would make me wear a shirt under whatever I was wearing. And he wouldn't have me wear crop tops, or like he wouldn't speak to me. Like that shit just, it gave childish. It gave little boy. Going back to what you guys were saying about how men aren't allowed to be in touch with their emotions, it just makes them act mad childish. And I just like realized that because it just appears to be a trend in all the guys who I fuck with who suffer from toxic masculinity. Like they act like little boys. They're not in touch with their emotions. They're not able to like be emotionally intelligent and like, I don't know, have like a normal conversation with you as a woman.
Yeah,
like because they see you as less. They see you as less than.
They see you as property to them. Not as a separate person. They see you as, well, if I mess with you and I claim you, like, you're mine now. You're like,
you're not their counterpart.
But that was my piece.
Mantra. I just wanted to, kind of respond to that. I remember my sister's ex-boyfriend. They're still like really great friends, whatever, till this day. And he was always kind of like a brother to me. He lived with me at one point. He lived with us at one point and everything. Shout out to him, by the way. I don't know if he want his name said on a podcast, but anyway, he told me one day when we was in the kitchen, this is probably one of the only times I was like really pissed at him. I was singing, first of all, I wasn't even singing Novocaine. I was singing Thinking About You by Frank Ocean, right? Not the Vine one, not No Potato. I was singing the regular, tomato flew around my room, whatever. He stopped me in the kitchen one day and was like, why are you singing that? That's a gay song. He was under the impression, first of all, I was singing Novocaine. I was like, okay, so first of all, we're not even going to talk about how you don't even know music from music. We're going to talk about how you're like blatantly being, how can you be ignorant, but like double ignorant? Like, it's like not only do you not know shit, but now you really don't know shit.
Right. Like, since when I'm sorry. I can't listen to Frank Ocean. Apparently, that makes me a little sweet.
No, but that's the thing.
Mhm.
And I wanted to shout out because I know that Saucy Santana also recently did a collaboration with like a straight male rapper. And I really felt like that was so amazing. Like,
Wait, is that the picture where he's bending over on the guy?
No. That's not the rapper.
No, that's his man.
That's his man's.
Man.
Shout out to Saucy Santana. That's his man's, girl. There was a rapper that he was promoting the song for a while. It's a nice song. He was basically giving a rapper props for basically, like allowing an openly gay male rapper to be a part of a straight male rapper song. Like, I feel like he broke so much barriers doing that, because you have no idea how much men won't listen to female songs or songs that may be sung by gay men because they feel like it makes them gay. Like, like it ties into toxic masculinity. And this was something that I got into on episode 5 of this podcast with my classmate Mia. Shout out to Mia. I had a relative that was always getting at me for listening to Beyonce, listening to Rihanna, listening to Nicki, because it made it, in his mind, it was gay. It made me less of a man. These are female songs. And it took my 8th grade guidance counselor to tell me that there was no such thing as girl songs or guy songs. You know what I mean? And not to mention, all of your favorite male rappers and writing for my faves. All women, a lot of songs that are sung by females.
Little Yachty writes for City Girls.
It's my it's your faves that be writing for my faves. So how do you feel about that? This is something else that I'm just now getting in my mind. I was in the elevator with this. I don't even know who the hell he was. Some disrespectful bastard. I walked into the elevator. I was listening to Beyonce. My friend was trying to call my name, but it was, what song was on? Single Lady something was on. And I was in my bag. I was like, and I was in the elevator, vibing, getting it. But she was trying to tap me to get my attention. But we was in a crowded elevator. I had my headphones on. I was listening to Beyonce. I didn't care. When I finally stopped the music, when she got my attention, she was like, what are you listening to, Beyonce? And I was like, girl, you already know this bastard in the corner of the elevator going laugh. It's funny.
Right, it's funny. Your breath, like, why? What is so funny?
Please, because I want to know what the hell is so funny about me listening to Beyonce.
Yeah, I would have gotta listen to rap, and the whole elevator would have been down with me.
Please, like, it's toxic masculinity.
He's lost.
Yeah, because it's like you're literally in the elevator minding your business. Like, he did not make that comment. He could have swallowed that laugh. Like, what is so hilarious?
I want to know.
Bet you gonna walk home and you're gonna be listening to Ice Spice.
No, I'm sorry. That's so funny. What is
like? I would have been like, "Can you mind your fucking business?"
That part.
Well, I had a question for Keena. This is specifically. I know that you have a younger brother, and. How do you feel? Well, do you feel afraid that toxic masculinity may affect him as he gets older?
That's a good ass question.
That's a really good question. So I think
shout out to your little brother though. He's adorable.
I know.
Yeah, he's on easy. I do fear that because sometimes, like, I feel like I have to teach him things like. About how to be respectful to like a woman. Like, I'll be like, if a woman ever says no, or if a girl ever says no, that's it. Like, you don't ask questions, that's it. Like, I teach him like little things like that, but like, I don't know, because my parents honestly don't really teach him anything like that, because it's that like awkward feeling of like talking about girls and stuff. And even, my dad, he has some of his own like, I think toxic tendencies, and he has certain ideologies that like. Oh my God, oh my God, but yeah, so I definitely do worry. That's a great question, and but I have hope for him, because I'm gonna be monitoring like who he's friends with over the years. He's going to middle school now, like that's where you start to outstand yourself. So we gonna see. But yeah,
because I had older brothers, so I feel like when it came to toxic masculinity specifically, it wasn't like much I could teach. They were older than me, so I kind of got the talks to where it's like, okay, Like you're a man, you know, you trying to get me to run on the game instead of trying, you know, you're telling me to change myself because of how men are, instead of, you know, trying to encourage your fellow friends and other men out there to do better. You're telling me, oh, you have to be like this, you have to do this and that because men are like this, that, and the third.
Imprisoning and limiting the females, but never checking y'all damn selves. And I hate that. And that's one thing that I do not like because damn, I'm about to rivel I'm about to shake the table with this shit. But
Bitches shaking the table.
what you call it? There was, you know, those dads that like they're so fucking protective of their daughters, but they let their sons do like whatever and whatnot. You're creating those same boys that you don't want your daughter to be around. You're creating this, and it's like, I get it. Your daughter's a queen. She's treated as such. I get it. You want to fall into my hands. I get all of that. You want her to be safe. I get all of that. It's really hard for women in this world. It is. It's dangerous. Watch episode 4 just to let y'all know. At the same time, the son should be getting taught stuff too.
Yeah.
I don't know how the dads is going to feel about that shit, and I don't got kids. So what the I know? I'm just Gen Z, right? We just sensitive about everything, right?
I know.
Oh my God. They think we butthurt. Like, no, we fed the up. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I've lived in this world less than 20 years and I ain't got time for this shit. So y'all need to fix something.
20 years on this planet. And does it seem like men have helped this world, this country specifically with anything? Can we talk about it?
We got Apple Pay, we got Amazon, you know, Tesla.
Did we really do anything with men being in full control of anything?
I mean, we have stress, you know, we definitely
that part.
Have,
toxic masculinity.
I'm trying to think of all the positives here, but man, it's like a short list. It's like
because to me, I just felt like Black people and Black women and everybody else has been really doing their part in keeping the world together. And queer people.
I don't know. I try and give men the benefit of the doubt because I don't know. A lot of men that just growing up, they've had different challenges that, you know, I understand women don't have to face that kind of pressure to feeling like you can't be yourself because you're seen as, you know, overly sensitive or, you know, I understand that. But at the same time, like, that ain't no damn excuse. You've been cheating on all 80 of your girlfriends because your granny passed in 03. Like, that's not, no, that doesn't, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Please.
No, because I swear, any man, as soon as he lying, he'd be like, I'm really sad. My dog died when I was 3 and my goldfish drowned. So I don't know. Like, it's just,
I don't know. What?
So I wanted to ask specifically, what moment in your past kind of introduced you to I don't know, I guess that mindset of toxic masculinity? Like, was there a moment in your past where you were kind of first introduced, like, you know, other people don't think the way that I do?
As y'all already know, I love Beyonce. I love Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj. And Rihanna and Beyonce specifically so much because they would always be dancing and doing the most in their videos. And when I was a little boy, I just wanted to imitate what I was seeing on the screen. It wasn't really a matter of whether or not like, oh, boys shouldn't do this. Like, that never really rung in my head. You know, nothing rung in my head. The only thing that rung in my head was I love these women and I like what I see on the TV. I love the song and I want to emulate that. I want to imitate that. Back then, my locks were, you know, because I had locks when I was little. So my locks were like fully out. So I would just like swing my hair, whatever. Or like, I used to, if you lived in my house, you know this. I used to get towels or shirts and I used to put them over my head to make it look like I had the hair they did. And I used to just dance. I used to dance and go crazy. Bitch, you couldn't tell me I wasn't in the music video. You know what I mean? Especially Deja Vu, bitch. I used to get the broom and dustpan. I used to sweep the dirt. Remember the scene where she was dancing in the dirt?
Oh,
yeah, I used to be like,
what? Come on.
Please forget about it. Like, I was it. You could not tell me I wasn't her when I was younger. But see, when I was doing it, it wasn't this, let me be Beyonce, let me fuck the boy. Like, I'm 4 years old. I'm not thinking about no shit like that. I'm just thinking, this is my fucking idol. I love her. And I want to imitate what I'm seeing because I'm a fan. I love the song. You know what I mean? And I just remember, like, again, like, if it wasn't my dad, it was probably one of my brothers. Not really so much of my dad, just like my brother, especially. Like, I remember just like always being put down, like, stop from doing that. It was to the point where, like, my family was kind of glad that I had gotten my locks cut. Some of my family was like, oh, I'm glad you got your locks cut because I don't want you dancing around and doing all of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, and it was kind of like, but I'm not thinking of it no type of way, you know, like
the only people who are doing
it's
that
touchy.
are
You know, it's touchy because not as if I was going outside doing that. And I think that was kind of where my mom was coming from. Like, being that I was already getting bullied, she didn't want me to add more fuel to the fire for me to enter more situations. So, like, she would tell me little things like, you know, like, when you go outside, just don't do this, don't do that, do that. Because she just wanted me to stay protected. It wasn't one of those things where she wanted to limit me. She wanted to protect me. You know what I mean? And I understood it. But at the same time, it did kind of feel like, and I did it, of course, like, I listened to her, but even then, it still, to me, kind of felt like I was limiting myself to make other bitches comfortable. Even with pants, like, even with my clothes, like, I got more confident in the way I dressed starting college. Because all of my life, I kind of just, like, you know, let my family members and stuff dress me. I used to wear, like, these big basketball shorts when I was younger. Because my mom used to always get them for me because I have a big butt. Can't help it. It's not something that everybody always tell, like, I have a big butt, but that's nothing I'll be flying around, you know, whatever. It's just my body. I have big thighs, I have a big ass. It's just whatever. And I used to always have to, like, hide. Like, I remember always having to, like, sag a little bit and, like, wear extra long shirts or sweaters just to make sure, like, my ass don't protrude. My thing is, and when I got older, what I started to realize was, well, if these niggas outside claim that they're not gay, whatever, nobody should be looking at my ass.
right. Why are you looking at my ass?
You know what I mean? Like, especially if I'm a minor. You know what I mean? And it's not like, and the only reason why I don't do this is just because I'm not that type of person. If I wanted to, I will. But I'm not the type of person to just walk out and just, like, have my ass protrude. But I can't help that I have the body that I have. It's my body. You know what I mean? So when I get dressed now, I don't think about that no more. But when I was younger, I used to always have to be cautious of my ass. Not to mention so much girls and shit like my ass in middle school. I used to get my ass slapped, like, without knowing. Like, bitch, people just slap my, like, for real. Like, girls would just slap my ass in middle school.
Like, man.
Y'all till this day hype me up about it. I don't pay no ass mind. You know what I mean? To me, it's just like, if you're not gay, you shouldn't be looking below my waist, especially when I'm a minor, especially at that time. Fucking forget about it. Like, what are you doing looking below my face for anything?
All right. And if you a man and you straight, why my booty bother you? Like, that's not giving very straight if you staring in between my booty cheeks.
Yeah, like, and I just felt like it was always me limiting myself to make other people comfortable. And it was always those concepts like, this is what men do. And it was just stupid to me. So I think that to answer your question just in full, I think that there wasn't really any one specific moment. I think it was a combination of different moments, because I could literally go on for hours about stuff that I've experienced and things that I were told. Like, I remember my barber, and I loved him. Shout out to him, by the way. He moved. My barber that used to cut my hair since I was 8, he moved when I started high school. But I remember one day, like, he tried to lecture me in the kitchen because he didn't like the way I was singing a Beyonce song. Because sometimes, like, there was a moment in time where, like, because I liked the way they sound so much, I wanted to sound like them. So for fun, I would, like, really try to make my voice high pitched to really sound like Beyonce, or really, like, sound like the song. And he didn't like the way I was singing the song and was trying to get in my ass while cutting my hair. Because that's really all he had to do. Cutting my hair about how I shouldn't be singing a song like that. Men don't do that. Why are you doing that? Like,
not his child.
Like, mind you, not your child. You're supposed to be cutting my hair. And I love him. Don't get me wrong. Like, he was, come on. Like, you know, at that point, he became family because he was cutting my hair since I was 8 years old, 7. You know what I mean? But to me, it was just like, you shouldn't even be worried about what I'm doing. But the barbershop is a home to toxic masculinity, misogyny. We know this already. It's generational. But they're not ready for this stuff. They're not ready for these topics. But, you know, moral of the story, there was a combination of different moments that happened in my life to where toxic masculinity played such a big ass role. And it really was until 2021, I told myself, I don't give a fuck about none of that anymore.
Because it's draining. It's draining to walk around feeling like you have to play a persona just to appease other people. That's why these men are so batshit crazy, because they spend all day, every day with the mask on, pretending to be somebody that people like.
They're not.
Their life, that's not how they
my bully, one of my bullies, I'm not going to say his name or give him any type of clout. I don't even know what the fuck his life. I think he's still running the streets, acting a damn fool, but they said that he wasn't even this big street tough kid he was portraying to be when he was younger. They said that, like, some of my people that I used to like speak to, some of my associates that actually hung out with him, they said that he was completely different from how he was outside. Like, outside, he was listening to rap, getting into all types of trouble, whatever. If you actually chilled with him in his house, he liked to pop, was always watching like Nickelodeon, whatever. Like, he was your whole different person inside the house. He had a whole personality, talents, you name it. When he came outside, it was just the thug. It was just the stupid to keep an appearance for I would never.
But they worried about other men's opinion, and to me, that's very gay. I just feel like if you spend your whole life worried about what other men think of you, that's gay. Like, it's that simple. And there's nothing wrong. That's why the men who talk the most, hate the most, half of the time they're just so deep into the closet that they've gotten lost in there. But baby, them doors are clear. Okay? The closet is clear as fuck.
Girl,
and you are the only person in denial.
And it's 2023. You have the right to live your life. Just live your life.
You have but they're afraid. That's all it is. They are afraid to
another
themselves.
Thing. Claudia, shout out to Claudia. And I think I also said this in episode 5. Claudia told me back in, I think a couple of years ago, that she felt like the reason why a lot of the boys that bullied me in this neighborhood specifically, and they, I got bullied bad. She felt like they bullied me because they were so insecure about themselves. And I was so confident in who I was that it was kind of like threatening to them. Like, I posed a threat to them. I was like, and then me being tall on top of that, she always felt like it was just their insecurity, and it was pure projection. And she opened my eyes so much because I never thought about it that way. And I'm still to this day reeling from all of my bullying. But I am a Caucasian woman in this neighborhood. I don't say nothing to nobody. Nobody can talk to me. Like, for real. Like, for real. You know what I mean? Like, and you want to know something? Half of the in my neighborhood are DL. Let's talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. It be like that though, because the people who talk the craziest do the most. That whole time they be like, so do you top? Like, so it's like, I don't understand why you're gonna sit here and play games like that when you wanted to and boot up. Like, don't do that.
We should go on Grindr and see who in his neighborhood is on there.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, I actually have the same question for you guys, because it's like you both can answer differently.
Okay.
What y'all hope for it to be like in the future? Like, what is like a realistic thing that you think can happen to change toxic masculinity? Like, do you think it could be through social media, or like, how do you think we can get through to these?
Deborah, you can take a shot at that.
I feel like what I hope for is that in the future, people stop giving a just mind the business that pays them. That's what I hope for, because I feel like I literally, like, I don't care what other people do with themselves. It does not matter to me. That does not affect me. So I hope that in the future, people just learn that they'll be a lot more happy if they just focus on themselves instead of what other people have going on in their lives, and get help. That's it. But the reality, I think, is that in the future, we're not going to see that. I would like the best for men in our society, but I honestly think that it's just, we were in the beginning, guys. So it's too far gone. I just feel like, there's going to be a big movement of men who are very vocal about wanting to be themselves and just feeling comfortable under their skin. And then there's going to be the opposition, the ops, and they're going to be people who don't want people to have that life. And they're going to take extreme, drastic measures just so that way people who want to be themselves feel unsafe, because people are afraid of things that they do not understand. And a lot of these men
fear the unknown. My dad always says that you fear the unknown.
They do. And I just feel like, if a lot of men were allowed a kind of safe space to truly be themselves when they, were being brought up, we wouldn't have this problem. But I feel like it starts when you're being brought up and we're being raised. And a lot of men our age were raised by an older generation who didn't really care about your feelings and how you felt and the person you wanted to be. Whatever idea they had of you, that's what you were going to be. And if you didn't do that, then you're a disappointment. I feel like the next generation may be a little bit better, but our generation is sorry, guys. The guys in our generation, most of them suck. There's a few good ones, but yeah, I don't see very much good happening for our future.
That's a great, very honest opinion. Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Like, I love men, but I don't love men. I hate men, but at the same time, I love y'all because y'all think we good. No, but Douglas, how do you feel?
I feel, well, one, I forgot to add this prior, but I also feel like it ties into Keena's question. All my life, I always, like, there was a moment in time, right, where because people used to tell me I sound like my mom, but I never really took it to heart or really tried to like investigate it too much, right? And I noticed that, and this was like while I was getting bullied. One day I was on the phone with some car company or something, and they kept mistaking me, but it was like the 5th time it had happened where they mistook me for a woman. But I had a high-pitched voice when I was a little boy. I remember after that 5th phone call, and I was like getting called like ma'am or whatever, and I have to correct them, say sir. I did this thing where like I made my voice real deep. And my mom noticed one day when we were in the elevator, she was like, why are you doing that? I was like, what do you mean? And then she was like, why you sound like that? Like, that's not how you regularly sound. And I was like, well, I told her what happened. I was like, this person mistook me for a girl, whatever. She was like, like, no, like, that's normal. Like, that always happens. Like, and she was telling me, like, well, her damn strong personality and stuff, she get mistaken for a dude on the phone or shit at times. You know what I mean? Like, she told me that's normal. Like, don't do that. You should never have to change yourself for that. Like, don't ever do that. And it was, well, one out of many great times my mom gave me this emotional support and stuff that I needed. But it was that time where she showed me that I didn't have to change myself for other people. And I used to always joke around with my friends how much, like, what if she didn't tell me that? How could my life had gone if she didn't tell me that? You know what I mean? And another thing that I wanted to say was there was a time when I used to tell people, like, straight up, and I think I also said this in episode 5, there was a time where I used to also tell people, like, okay, well, I'm Douglas, and no, I'm not gay, it's just how I do it. Like, I used to always have to like include that when I used to tell people about myself, that, oh, I was feminine and whatever, this, that. Now I don't say no shit at all. I'm not no feminine, I'm not no masculine. Look, I'm an alien. I'm not even here. Don't worry about me. I'm dissipated. Right. Like, that's it. I'm about my money. I'm Douglas. That's what you need to understand. That's how I am now. But when I was younger, I used to always have to kind of like explain myself because I was so afraid of people judging me. And I only came across a few people that was like, why are you doing that? I wasn't thinking that about you. And I used to have to tell them, like, it's because everybody do. Even some of my own friends. Like, it's like everybody do. And it all depends on your intent. In high school, if somebody wanted to know my sexuality or know what I was about based off how I was acting, it's human nature to judge by the cover. So to partially answer Keena's question in a way, I don't know if it could end either, because it's human nature to judge by the cover and it's human nature to stereotype. And we grow up believing that certain things are normal, and this is sadly one of them. When it came to somebody in high school asking me about my sexuality or anything, I knew never to take it personal like I would in my neighborhood, because the difference was people in my neighborhood were doing it with the intent of degrading my person, degrading me, disrespecting me, making me feel less of myself. In high school, it was just wanted to know. It was nosy. And nobody really asked because it was just for fucking respectful. You know what I mean? It was like stuff like that. So look, I still have questions of whether or not some in our high school is gay or not. You know what I mean? But I never asked them. I didn't care too much to bring it up. I never cared too much to run my mouth. Why? Because at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with me. That should never affect how I see them as a person. Like, like, to me, like, I had that common decency to never make it more than what it was. ever. And I always kind of felt like, every single human being, a lot of people have these concepts and beliefs of how they feel like men should act. And it's ridiculous. And it's to the point where, like, me as a man today, like, it kind of left me at one point to feel so stagnant, because it was just like, where the fuck do I fucking belong? Like, in this society, like, where the fuck do I belong? Like, I can't seem to do shit, like, without one way, I'm another. Like, it really just never fucking kills. And it was to the point where I kind of just said, look, whatever rumors you believe about me, believe them.
Believe it.
Because at this point, I'm done. I'm done with explaining things. I'm done with making myself be certain ways for people. Like, I just hate that shit. Like, 2021, I said, y'all, everything, not y'all, literally. You know what I mean? Everything. I don't care. I'm a human being. I'm Douglas. I'm about my money. That's what y'all need to know. I'm an alien, to be honest. Like, I'm not even here, low-key. I'm so on another level. That's what I am. You know what I mean? Like, fuck out of here. Like, and that's kind of how, like, I'm taking things now. Like, I just don't give a damn about anything. I am an equestrial being, and that is what you need to understand about me.
So stop worrying about who the fuck I want to fuck with. You nosy ass bitch.
Dream Portals by Melanie Martinez, by the way, just so everybody knows. But anyway, like I was saying, I just want to say thank you guys so much, because I really feel like this was such a touchy subject, especially for me. So thank you guys for just giving y'all honest, like, opinions. It was kind of interesting to see how women think about it. You guys were the best people to ask, so I definitely want to on it. Thank you guys so much. We are now going to move into our next segment. All right, you guys, we are in my segment, Freedom Flashback. We haven't done Freedom Flashback in a while, but I wanted to bring it back. For those who don't know about Freedom Flashback, it's a segment kind of similar to freedom of speech, but we are talking about something that's happened in our past or something we've experienced from, like, younger on. So, like, last season, if you guys didn't catch some of the episodes from last season, we had Freedom Flashbacks about Roblox, because Roblox is a childhood game, stuff like that. So we had a Freedom Flashback on Roblox, and we had a Freedom Flashback on taking the train, because that's an experience that we grew up, especially in New York. Like, that's something that you experience. So Freedom Flashback is kind of like that. So I wanted to bring it back for this season, of course. And I think this is Deborah and Keena's first time actually being a part of this segment. But our Freedom Flashback is going to pertain to train experiences, but specifically dealing with I guess, like, the mentally ill on the train and really just experiencing train conditions. So it's a little bit deeper into the train topic. So we're kind of going a little bit deeper into the vault than we did last season. And with that being said, I guess I'm going to ask the question of both of y'all. What was some of your crazy train experiences? Deborah, I know you had one ready in the bank, so I'm going to ask you. You could start.
Oh, Lord. I have about 80 million.
Right?
But I think the one that stood out to me the most, so if you're from New York, if you're from Brooklyn specifically, you know how the train station in Hoyt and Skim is. You know how that long ass hallway, it could be a little scary, especially at night, if it's packed with people there. But usually, because that hallway is so long, depending on the weather, a lot of homeless people kind of, camp out there, because it's a bigger space for them to, have their area without having to be harassed and stuff by the police. Because half of the time, if you're there on a public street, they tell them, well, you got to get up and move. So I was pretty much trying to get back home because I had just finished work. I just finished up school. And as I'm walking down the hallway to try and go up the stairs, I see that there's a few homeless people there. But usually when I see people, I just mind my business. I got to go to where I got to go. But the only thing that kind of made me hesitate was because homeboy was completely naked at the end. Butt, booty, ball, naked. And I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bit of a risk, but I'm like, I have to pee. I need to go home. Like, I'm just ready to go home. So I'm like, if I speed walk, if I don't make eye contact with him, like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be straight. But as soon as I start walking down the hallway, like, you know, when you just feel somebody looking at you, you know, like I could just feel like him staring at me, and I'm like I have to look. Like, I just have to look. Should have never fucking looked. So as I look over, he smiles, something out of like a horror movie. Like, I feel like I just looked at Pennywise, because this man seemed way too happy that we locked eyes, and he literally like starts taking the off on me, like running full speed, like get out, like this man is booking it, and I don't even have a chance to fucking react. I have to run up them fucking stairs because he's chasing me up the damn stairs, and I don't even know what the fuck he's saying. He's yelling at me, like he got his arms out, like when I tell you he was ball naked, like naked,
the balls out, everything out, like.
No, and it was huge, like it was huge, like that shit was slapping on his knee as he's like, I'm terrified because I have no idea what the fuck he wants.
How old were you when this happened?
This was in high school. So this was probably freshman year of high school. So I was probably 14? 13, 14.
Oh my God.
I was young, you know what I'm saying? It was my dumbass fault. I shouldn't have walked down that way. I should have just said it and, you know, like went to another stop or whatever. But I was being hard-headed, and I'm like, no, I'm not about to let him ruin my day. He not gonna do nothing to me. No, he definitely chased me up out of that train station. He didn't stop chasing me to the corner because I got up out the train station. I ran over to the corner. I went into the corner into a store because he was chasing me. Like, I thought he was going to stop running when he got to them stairs because I was out of breath. Okay, because them was a lot of stairs. I was tired. And I'm looking in my head. I'm like, if I give up, like, that's it. Like, I'm done for. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's about to do to me. But I was tired, y'all. I got this heavy-ass backpack on. Like, and I'm big. And I'm running for my life. Ugh. So mortifying, honestly.
That backpack made you feel like you was carrying all of New York while running. Like,
I was literally running for my life. I'm just honestly glad that, you know, he didn't catch me. That's all I'm saying. Too fast for your ass.
You talking to us about the situation just now reminded me of like when I got on a train, and I remember I saw this guy too. He was also naked. He was literally wearing nothing but a hat. Literally. Like, and I remember I just walked out the car. He didn't follow me, nothing. I don't even think he saw me, thank God. I just walked in, I said, oh, and I walked out politely. You know?
It's like, oh, I didn't even.
Yeah, that's it. How you say dear, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So basically, you know, I feel like I should just do a whole like little rapid fire run through of like just the things I've even experienced recently because of my stupid ass ex former roommate. You know, I had to move out because I couldn't live in that. So I've been commuting. Basically, recently, somebody threw up inside the train, in the car I was in, and he was standing over it, just like looking down, wearing cowboy boots, like very weird situation. Then I was on 42nd Street going home to switch to another train, and this guy was just off. So I didn't look back. I just speed walked. Yeah, like he was fully clothed. He just, and it was very
for a bush.
I don't know what was wrong with him. Like he looked normal.
What?
And then
I don't fucking know.
There was this guy who was on the train and he was throwing up. This is a different one, and he's like spitting everywhere. He's like, ugh. And this woman, she's like lazy eye. She's like, oh my God, like you need to get the fuck out of the train. Like it was so bad. And like we were stuck there. Why she had to be lazy eyed though? I don't know. She's like, I gotta get home to my kids. I was like shocked, like what was going on. And then this one guy, he stole a North Face jacket that was like $200. And we were in the train, me and my friend, and he's like showing us everybody. He's like, how much y'all think this is? And nobody answered him, of course. He's like, how much y'all think this is? Like, y'all just can't afford it. That's why y'all not answering. And I was like, sir, you literally shopped them.
Sir, you just stole that. Like, what do you couldn't afford it either. Like,
projecting, and then he took out this like toolbox.
Oh my god.
He took out a toolbox and he put the jacket on the ground. He started hammering the alarm. So everybody got a little bit scared. And I was just like, he's not going to do anything. Like, he's just hammering the alarm.
He's not hammering a person. Not yet.
Next thing
But
you
everybody
know.
just calm down. He hasn't hurt anybody yet.
Not yet. You say yet.
Not yet, but if
Literally,
he
it was
gets
only
up
like
on-
one person. Only one white person moved. Because we all are just like, you know what?
Of course,
And
the
then
white
what
people.
The moment
Yeah.
that hammer go anywhere else, then it's an issue.
Then it's an issue.
He was just hammering the alarm. And then it broke. And all I know is just pink fluids just go all over my face, my phone, my pants.
Wait, what do you mean pink fluid? What the fuck?
Alarm busted? I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And
Wait,
he was
they
like,
got
'cause y'all
liquid
didn't wanna
inside of them?
say- Huh?
Isn't that a button?
I'm like, what?
No. Like, basically, I figured this out later. The alarms have this, like, thing in them where if you steal it and you try to rip the alarm off, there's going to be some fluid that comes on it so that you can't, like...
To steal a train alarm.
No, it's not a train alarm. It's the alarm on the North Face jacket.
Oh, so like he was trying to bust the lock thingy
I'm
off
thinking
because
it's a train. He's trying to bust it. Oh, but you were next to him.
Mm-hmm. And so I was so mad. I was
What
like,
did he do when the got on you?
He just walked out the train. And I was like, oh my f***ing
Girl,
God.
I would have sued North Face for being dumb and letting the steal their
Bye.
like for real. Like
I should have.
Because what the hell? You don't know what that could do to your skin and all of that stuff. Like, what was that? I would have ran home crying and doused myself in an 8-hour shower.
The worst part is it was an unknown. Like, it was the unknown because I didn't know about that shit.
So
He
what
was
if
like, y'all didn't want to answer.
What if you had a show or something like that? Like, what if you going somewhere fucking important? Like, he just ruined your whole day. Like, that's it.
That man do not give a fuck about ruining nobody day. He just stole a North Face jacket. Okay, he's over the moon.
Yes. If I was the key to this place, I would have been mad as hell. What? I would.
Yeah, I was mad.
Like, to scream, I would have screamed. Like, bitch,
I was
forget
so
about it.
mad.
I did.
Those are really it, though.
I'm not really gonna get into like my whole train experiences. I mean, I haven't had too much crazy ones. Like, I did tell y'all about the guy that was like masturbating in front of me, and I had to like run away from him as like quickly as possible, but I couldn't because the train was moving and you couldn't go in between the cars. But you want to know something? I'm not even going to get too much into detail about that. If you want to hear about my train experience, what y'all are going to have to do is go to the video in my description below, my story time with Douglas, and I get all into my crazy train experience. So that's what y'all are going to have to do. But we are going to move into the last segment. All right, you guys, we are in Freedom of Fun. I keep saying Freedom of Fun like an like Freedom Fun. Like, yo, like, hey, you guys, we are in Freedom Fun. We are going to be playing the game that we played the last time you guys were on my podcast, and that is Guess the Word. Whoever's turn it is, they'll have 60 seconds to try to get us to basically like guess the word, whether it's a celebrity thing, whatever. Okay, I guess I'll start if y'all want me to start. So Deborah, put the timer on for 60 seconds, and then I'm gonna try to do the word. All right, she's a legendary ass female rapper. I think I'm gonna leave it there.
Nicki Minaj.
Wait, who's guessing?
Both of them.
Gagged?
Gag.
Who else? There's
An it's not Nicki Minaj, but she is an actress too.
Eve.
That's a good guess, though. Queen Latifah?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
You should have said her silk press. Just, it does it every time, and I would have known exactly what you're talking about.
Girl, if I was to say UNITY, I knew y'all was gonna get it. So I was like, girl,
Yeah, I was gonna give it away.
Okay, so this is the movie. This was like, I think this definitely had to be like around 2010 area. It's a cartoon film. I think it's by Pixar, and it's about these insects. No, it's about these insects throughout the whole world, and basically this insect, he's still this human's right. He's still his. But he's a whole insect, and I guess like the rest of the colony, like they not with him fucking with a human chick because he's a insect, and so basically he got to go to court and all types of shit because they just playing, they playing the colony. They playing the bee.
Oh my god! Bee. Bee's World.
No. Oh my god. Yo, it's literally. Did we run out of time?
Yes.
I know this.
It's the movie. It's literally the movie.
Bitch,
I said.
First of all, why was my dumbass about to say Sausage Party like an idiot? Like a whole idiot. Sausage Party not even
Pixar did not put on that fucking movie.
Did not do Sausage Party.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is like a character in Sausage Party. Ow. Kind of hurts. Oh my god. This is like, I'm crying right now. Did everybody see that or something? Like, oh my god. Oh.
You just yourself in the eye and you're trying to hold it.
Ow. Oh my god. Ow.
Ida.
Oh my god.
Bitch,
I'm so sorry.
Girl, my stomach.
Oh, I'm sorry, girl. You just did your makeup.
I know.
That's the worst, though. You just fucking stab yourself trying to do mascara.
I'm
You're trying to blink so it goes up with it, and then you blink into your eyeball.
I didn't think y'all noticed it. I was like,
yo, that made the rest of my Tuesday. Like, yeah,
oh my god.
Oh my god.
It wasn't even the fact.
I'm gonna try.
It wasn't the fact that you stabbed yourself. That's not what I'm laughing at. It's how you try to like move past it. Bitch, that was painful. Like that was painful as hell, and it was how you tried to move past it.
Yeah, I couldn't see for a second. I don't even know if it's still in my eye.
Damn near just blinded yourself on camera.
I know, just to talk about my Pictionary word. Okay.
Okay.
So, should we start with the timer?
Yeah, reset the timer. Definitely. You said so.
Yo, please, I need the air conditioner. I turned it off. Now I'm going to have to turn it back on.
Right. I'm like, first of all, isn't it on? Like,
Bitch, no, I had turned it off because I was still scared. But now with this, I have to turn it right back on. So,
I was already crying earlier because you guys were being funny. And now I'm
for real. I was like, bitch,
no.
I'm about to say, what happened to you?
Okay, so basically, this is a character in Sausage Party. Yeah. Think of the food and not the name of the character. It resembles like a penis.
A sausage?
A hot dog?
A douche? No, a douche don't look like a dick.
A hot dog.
No, that's not a cucumber.
No,
but that wasn't it. They had to have cucumbers.
I'm naming objects.
Kina, a hot dog. Like, the star was a hot dog.
It's not a hot dog.
It's not a hot dog.
A Frank?
Like, no.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, but sometimes they be naming different.
Okay, basically a lot of places here now have opened up and it's like a Korean
corn dog.
Yes.
When did he have a corn dog and sausage party?
There was no corn dog.
I will show y'all right now. I'll show you.
Like, I don't remember there being a corn dog. Hold on.
Okay, because I actually didn't watch the movie, but like I saw the trailer.
Yo, Tina, get the out of here. Just a regular hot dog.
Oh my god!
Wait, this is the calling a corn dog?
No, because from my memory, I thought it was a corn dog. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Okay, so this movie is a really popular movie, and they made a game out of the movie. I think it was the game before the movie. I'm not sure.
Struggling.
The Game of Life.
Okay, so the movie consists.
What?
Wait, I can't because we're running on time. The movie consists of animals.
Is it Clue?
The movie consists of animals, a specific type of animals.
Oh. Wait.
Hungry Hippos?
Bitch. No, it's a popular movie. It came out in the last couple of years. We had to be like 12. But it was a popular
Animals?
game. It still played.
Oh, How to Train a Dragon.
No. Bitch, they're still alive. We see them every day.
Dogs.
We see them every day when we go
Time's
outside.
up. What time is up?
The Angry Birds movie. Girl, because here's the tea. I feel like if I was to say birds, it would have gave it away.
You were not supposed to say
bees, and I still ain't get the bee movie. That point, you should have just said
And Kino over here with some extinct ass animals, dragons. Like, girl, we see them every day. We see dragons every day.
Like, dragons been extinct. Let's not do that.
They've been going.
Let's not bring them.
I should have said dinosaur, Jurassic Park. That would make more sense.
But they made it
because it's like I don't know. Yeah,
Deborah.
they did.
I searched up catchphrase. That shit said heavy. I don't.
Yeah.
Statistics. That's not a.
They out of that section because they playing for real.
So basically, this is a huge man. He often he DJs. He sells car insurance.
Fat Albert.
Oh my god.
Does Fat Albert have fucking car insurance?
Wait, his name is like Lumberjack.
Absolutely not. No, he's a very famous celebrity.
It's a real person or a character?
He's a real person. He's a very large man. He played in the league, and now he does a lot of he DJs. Yes.
Oh, that's a good guess. Yeah.
I didn't even know Shaq DJ. You could have said actor. He'd be on movies and stuff.
He was in Shazam. He was in Shazam or Kazam. One of them.
A lot of early 2000s black sitcoms. I saw him on the Parkers. That's how I was like, you could, yeah. But anyway, I got it. Right before the time I did too. Okay, bye.
This is the person. Well, it's not a person, but it's a he, and they're from like this movie about lions.
Simba?
The Lion King?
Not.
What was the son name? Mufasa?
That's the daddy. Scar.
Yes, it's Scar.
Oh,
okay.
I ran out of characters after that, so I'm like, look, I don't know.
I don't even remember the female characters and everybody else. Okay, so he is a rapper and a really popular, legendary rapper. He's been rapping since the early 2000s.
I said DJ Khaled. I'm just joking.
Busta Rhymes.
Not Busta Rhymes, but he rapped fast like Busta Rhymes.
Eminem.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Period. Okay. I had no idea. I honestly didn't think I was gonna get it. You just said rap fast, and I'm just like, oh, Eminem and Eminem. Like that's Eminem.
Yeah, but
I don't know if you guys know this movie.
We might.
I'm gonna try it because it's my favorite movie growing up. I watched this movie way too much. Okay. It is a movie from the early 2000s. It is a Disney movie. And it's basically about these animals that sing, and they're in a group together. It's all brothers.
Alvin and
they're all in a group together.
Fuck you.
No, it's older. It's older. It was before Alvin and the Chipmunks was even a thought. They sing country music and they're animals, and they basically the band broke up, and then the whole movie is about them coming back together to be a band again.
Oh my God, is it about them bears?
Yes, it's about them bears. I feel like
bears.
Yes, it's the country bears.
Crazy. Wow. I don't even know how I got that, honestly. Okay, this was easy. It's a place and it's an animal.
What?
Like, not as easy as you think.
Guys, it's a place and it's an animal.
You gonna keep saying that?
I'm like, give me some else. Is this a person?
Thanksgiving.
Turkey?
Yes.
Oh.
Because you said place. I was like, place? Go crazy. All right, Kina. Clever.
Bye. Have the little.
He's a vibe. And like when we were younger, we used to think that he was just this miserable blob of shit. But when we grew up, we started to know that he was a vibe.
Chris Brown.
I said a character. It's from a kid show that we grew up on, an early 2000s kid show, not Winnie the Pooh. It's a very popular show. It's a worldwide show. Yes, girl. Yes.
Oh, the big red dog.
Deborah won last time.
No, Kina. I said Squidward. Kina gonna say the big red dog. It's not Clifford. It's Squidward. How can I relate to Clifford? That motherfucker don't speak. Maybe pig. That's about it.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Did I win?
Yes, bitch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Girl, and I tell you, this is your second time winning. Second time winning. Deborah won. That was fun. That was really, really fun. I like that.
Yeah.
This was a fun ass episode.
Sorry.
And it was a nice little kiki. I like the little kiki.
Sorry, I miss you guys.
Human depravity was not just a topic that I felt I could place one episode about. And I feel like a lot of the topics that we talk about, if not some of them, really falls under the topic of human depravity. But I wanted to make this multi-part special because I felt like it was important to get like a lot of these main topics out, and kind of tell our points of view, points of view from young people, kids that are, I feel like we're all like in some way, shape or form experiencing, starting to really experience adulthood. And it's ghetto. So, that's basically what we wanted to bring. But as I already tell y'all, stay tuned for way more. And I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.